All right, I'm Ben Burrows, and I'm doing my speech on Monopoly. And I hated losing at games. And when I played Monopoly, I just couldn't win. Like, I would do everything just to get an edge. Like, I would steal money when nobody's looking, act like I didn't know what I rolled, and go one step forward or one step back. And I just screamed and cried until my family gave me another turn if I had a bad roll. Like, things got really bad. Like, I wasn't allowed to play games with my family for a while, and it sucked. And I didn't know Monopoly had such a strange past. Like, it shocked me when I was looking everything up for it. This is Lizzie Magie, and she is actually the creator of Monopoly. She thought of the game in 1904. She called it the landlord's game, which basically showed the evils of property tax and ownership. And she was a Quaker and she got the idea from another Quaker, Henry George. And they, I think, like played it together, I think. Not really sure. And eventually, Charles Darrow got a hold of it. He used to play a lot with his friends. And one of them, Charles Todd introduced him to the game because he was friends with his wife, and he would come over and play the game with them. And Charles Darrow just it was hard when he was raising his family. Like, he had to pick up odd jobs, and with the stock market crash of 1929, he was one of the a million Americans who were unemployed. And they already had a child, and another child was on the way, so he had to find a way to make a lot of money fast so he could support his family. And once Todd introduced to the game, that's where the idea sparked, and it kept going. In his spare time, he would just create pieces. Since he didn't have a job, he would just create all these pieces, game boards, all these cards, and just created the outlook of the game and everything in his spare time. And he would eventually introduce us to the Parker brothers, who would end up buying the game and dispersing it, like telling everybody about it. And it was a huge hit. Everybody started buying it. Everybody had a great time. But in 1973, there started to be a bunch of games that were like Monopoly, and they're just trying to take over, like anti-monopoly, inflation. And the biggest problem for them was anti-monopoly. They started selling a lot. And it was created by Professor Anspach. Yeah, Anspach. Because he didn't like the fact that, like, nobody knew that Lizzie Magie had created the game, and everybody was giving all the credit to Darrow for creating the game. So that just kind of angered him, and he just wanted to get revenge by creating anti-monopoly. And there was a huge legal battle, and the Parker brothers won, so they had to destroy all the anti-monopoly games they stopped creating the game, and they had to destroy it. And every few years, a Monopoly World Championship has been held. And that's how competitive people do. Like, I feel like the game takes too long to actually have a winner, but these people do it, and they like it. As of 2008, 250 million copies have been sold of Monopoly, and the company estimates that nearly 5 million people have played. And I still don't know much about Quakers or their history, but I do know that their followers is the reason I screamed, yelled, and broke everything in sight whenever I would lose. Monopoly is one of those games in which you don't need any special skills, just a string of good luck. And the game easily brings family and friends together, but I wouldn't be surprised if some people have lost friendships just because of this game. And I'm not saying you shouldn't go play Monopoly. I'm just saying that if you do, you probably shouldn't take it so seriously and just have fun.